From the newsroom at news.com.au.
We'll start with politics, and Prime Minister Scott Morrison was grilled by Tracy Grimshaw last night. Have a listen to this brutal exchange.
Prime Minister, you said at your launch on Sunday, I saved the country. You don't hold a hose, you weren't in your tinny plucking people off rooftops, you weren't doing 16-hour days in PPE on COVID wards, you didn't get enough vaccines soon enough, you didn't get enough rats so that we could finally have a holiday interstate for Christmas, and China has set up base in the Solomons. Do you think maybe you slightly over-egged the part about I saved the country?
Well, that's quite a long list you've been able to pull together. But let me say this. We've come through this pandemic better than almost any other advanced country in the world. JobKeeper was Save the Country. That's specifically what I was referring to. And if you don't think it did, Tracy, well, you can have that argument with the 800,000 people who kept a job as a result of that.
In other news, it's been revealed that the AFP has seized $500 million worth of treasures from suspected criminals in the past 3 years. The Criminal Asset Confiscation Task Force has restrained more than $290 million in houses, $180 million in cash, and $30 million in cars, boats, and cryptocurrencies. Most of the assets were taken from alleged drug and firearm traffickers, fraudsters, money launderers, and child sex offenders. Overseas now, and remember that China Eastern plane crash from March that killed all 132 passengers and crew? Well, US investigators now believe someone on board deliberately crashed the plane. According to reports, black box data shows that someone, possibly a pilot or someone who had forced their way into the cockpit, input orders to send the Boeing 737 into a nosedive. To royal news, well, the Queen made a surprise appearance at the London Underground this morning. The 96-year-old monarch used a walking stick as she attended the opening of the new Elizabeth line at Paddington Station, and she appeared to be in very good spirits. And finally, in TV news, Rove McManus has a new gig. He'll host a reality competition featuring teams of kids and adults whose brief is to bring their own Toy Stories to life. The show will air on Disney+.
Get the latest from news.com.au.